are.
Okay.
You are live.
All right. Make sure. So we're just waiting on Aunt Tina. She's having some technical difficulties. Apparently, StreamYard gave the Apple people some struggle. So when she comes, we'll just slide her on in. But here is the most of the clan minus one. Good morning, ladies. Good afternoon, rather.
Good afternoon.
So we're just gonna start by
hello, everyone.
By you guys introducing yourselves with your legal government, not your whole name, whatever, but also with the nickname that you all have given each other throughout the years. And whoever wants to go first, you can rock, paper, scissors, or you can just jump in.
We'll go in order.
Okay.
Yeah, big sis first.
Okay, Jamie, but I'm big sis. Because I'm the oldest. What else am I supposed to say about I'm not the bossy one. The bossy one's coming up. But, just because I'm the oldest don't mean I'm the bossy one. So the bossy one will come up. You'll know. Next.
Joe.
I'm Joanne, aka Peaches. I'm the second oldest, and I am not the boss either. You will find out in a minute who is the boss of all of us. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's me. So I'm Mary Powell. I'm the third in line, aka Puddin. Yes, I am the boss. At least I try to anyway.
And Aunt Tina, we just give you a regular name and then the name that you all have given each other.
All right, I'm Tina, and my name is June. Short for June Cleaver. Don't have any pearls on. That's how you see how they do me. That's what they dubbed me when we first met. Because I'm kind of proper.
Although she's starting to lose that title as we go along. Starting to lose that title. I'm Robin, and I'm the baby for obvious reasons. I am the youngest of the group, and so there will never be another baby in this group because
we've tried.
No one else will be admitted who is younger than I.
We have tried and failed.
A few times.
So, Aunt Tina, I told them that they have a right to remain silent. The same rule applies for you. Anything you say and do, it's on live. So we are live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So, anything can happen. So we're going to do a quick icebreaker. And it's going to be who's most likely to, and then I'll give what it is and you guys share who's most likely to do something. So, for example, who's most likely to introduce themselves first to the group?
Oh, you want to answer it?
Yes, anybody.
I would say the baby.
Who's most likely to introduce themselves to the group
first? Like when you guys are out, who's most likely to be like, "Hi, my name is such and such."
Oh, that's Joanne.
That's Joanne.
Everybody.
No, because Joanne already knows everybody, so she doesn't have to everywhere
we went to Arkansas and she knew somebody.
Yeah, everywhere we go, she knows somebody. But yeah, Joanne is the Miss Personality, so yes.
Yes.
Mom calls
our social butterfly.
Yes, I'm congenial with that.
Next one, who's most likely to jump up first to get in a line dance?
To get in a line dance.
Mary.
Well, I would say baby. Because
I was gonna say if I know how to do it, or if I like to dance, so I would jump up and get in a line dance if I think it's something I can catch on to. Now, if I don't think if it's too complicated, I'm not getting up there and embarrass myself because I do stuff. I gotta do it. Well.
Baby likes that country music, so
yeah.
Oh God, here we go.
Girl.
We still gotta learn the cowboy get up line.
Oh, yeah, the cowboy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
videotaping on that one.
Who's most likely to do a TikTok video? Do y'all know what TikTok is? Let's
I
start
know
there.
what TikTok
I know
is.
what it is, but I've never done a video.
Yeah,
I have
I'm not
no
sure
idea
about
how
that
to
one.
do it.
I think all of
I
us
don't
do
think that
conservative
sounds
do that.
demographic.
I actually think Aunt Mary would probably do it first, only because of the kids.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's something.
Like, listen to them, I think they probably talk you into it.
Yeah, her grandkids could talk her into it.
Yeah,
Yep.
they probably could.
And she likes playing with all of those filters on IT.
Yeah.
So she'll have on some whiskers and all of that stuff on her TikTok. So yeah, it's married.
Who's most likely, this is an easy one for me, but who's most likely to spend hours in a craft store?
Thelma and Louise.
Joanne.
And Big Sis.
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise, Jamie.
We spent 4 hours one time in Hobby Lobby.
Yes, we did. And
And could have stayed a little longer.
I'm
We're
just
in New
gonna say,
York and Joanne's in the craft store.
New York? Oh, geez, Aunt Joe.
I think we've gone with it and give her the time limit. Say, okay, you only
Yeah.
have.
Right.
Not a time limit.
Make that a card store, and then you got me.
That was the next
Oh
question.
yeah.
So who's most likely to spend hours at Hallmark or in the card
Robin.
section of Walmart?
Robin.
That would be
That
me.
baby.
Because the card has to fit. I'm not
Robin.
buying you a card that says how wonderful you are. You know, you've been this wonderful father or this, and you ain't, it has to fit. If you get a card, whatever it says, that's how I really feel about you.
That's right.
I can attest to that. Sometimes I'm thinking she wrote it herself. That's how
Yeah.
far
Right.
it comes.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
truly comes from the heart. Right.
Who's most likely to be late?
Mary.
Right.
Don't let it come from Aunt Mary like
Mary
that.
makes
That's
everything.
disrespectful. That's
Mary
disrespectful.
will leave. You
I
gotta
will
be
take it.
somewhere at 8 o'clock. Mary leaves her house at 8:15.
She's always right on time. When she gets to wherever she's going, she's always right on time.
Yes, he is. Mary has got
Amen.
leave Mary.
Who's most likely to be the first one there?
With Pearson with
Robin.
Robin.
I'm
Yeah.
The
Right.
first person
Question
there.
though.
Like, so they saying you late. So who's the earliest?
Robin.
Okay,
Right.
Robin.
definitely Robin.
Okay. Who's the first person to cuss first and pray later?
Oh Lord, Jamie.
Jamie.
That was like in unison, Jamie.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know our sister.
We have to monitor her.
And then Robin will say to me, now, Jamie, wasn't there a better way you could have said that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she's no filter.
Who's the first one to pray first and then cuss later?
Joanne.
Joanne.
Yes.
She'll do 45 minutes over lunch.
Okay.
And when she's like,
I'm hungry.
When we hungry, we don't have her pray.
No, Joe, you prayed for a long time.
when she finally get to the cussing part, it's gonna be, oh shoot. Oh,
Who's most likely to skydive?
Mary. I'd say Mary.
I would say I'm married.
Probably because
She's
of Jay, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, she's adventurous like that. They did
Yeah,
parents
yeah,
fail,
he is.
so she could do skydiving.
Oh, okay.
Mhm,
Yep.
yeah, it'll probably
Well,
be
I'm
Jay.
not. I'm just barely getting out the house.
Who's most likely to start an argument?
to start an argument.
An argument.
We don't argue.
Here anymore. They're not here anymore.
We too old for that.
Yeah, yeah,
This is a This is a drama-free group.
yes.
They're not here no more.
Was there ever a time where what you weren't as mature and progressed in your relationship, your friendship?
We've had blowouts, but then Robin comes over, smacks me a couple times.
Oh yeah, I felt that too.
Tell me that I'm wrong, and then I gotta make up with whoever it is that I cussed out.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, one more, two more, and then we're done. Who's most likely to say yes?
Tina.
To
who?
God,
To
so
just
true.
in general, the most.
To who?
To in general, just who's
Tina.
most
Joe,
likely
I
to
would
say
say
yes.
yes.
Joanne.
Oh, Mary said Joanne.
Joanne. For
definitely
any and
Joe.
everything.
And then I think Tina would be a strong second.
I need the details though.
Yeah,
Oh, Tina said I didn't grow up a little bit. I need some facts.
I need the details first.
Yeah, Joanne has a soft spot for people, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but people,
Take advantage of that.
They abuse it.
she's the yeah.
And then the last question, I know the answer to this based off of personal experience. Who's the first to say no?
And it might have another adjective in front of it, but
You probably right. You probably right. All right. So that was fun. So the whole point of this particular podcast, what I share with you all via text is that a lot of times, especially in my generation, we don't know long sisterhood or we don't know longevity in friendship. Once we have a disagreement or an argument, deuces, I'm out. There's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to hash out. Whereas I have watched you all go through different stages of life, fall out, take a minute, take a breather, and then we all at Popeyes eating chicken, and me and Marissa and Kendra just sitting here like, weren't they just like blowing each other out? Like, why are we here? Like, what are we doing? So I just wanted to definitely share what I've had the honor of being able to witness my entire life. And that's just loyalty, genuine friendship, love, sisterhood, support, in some of the best of times, as well as in some of the worst of times. You guys have definitely been on Joanna's too early to be crying now. Wait a minute. You guys have definitely been like a true example to me for sisterhood. I don't say I've applied it. As you all know, my record of friendships haven't really been the best, but hey, I'm getting better. I'm getting better on my selection of friends and what friendship and sisterhood really means to me. And so just to start off, how would you all individually or collectively define sisterhood? What has sisterhood looked like for you guys?
So for me, I would say I would say there's 4 things that make our friendship work.
And if I look down, I'm just taking notes. I'm not paying attention. Go ahead.
I would say trust, communication, commitment, and respect. And so, I mean, trust is obvious. You got to be able to, count on the people that's in your circle, know that when you're talking to them and being vulnerable, that it's not going any further than the group. So the trust piece is huge.
Right.
The communication piece, being able to just be open and honest in a judge-free zone, say how you feel, know that you're not being judged, but you're being supported. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't say what you want to hear. We give you the truth. We can be honest. You got it's not, you can't handle the truth that you lie here. If deal with it, be mad about it. But then you move into the commitment piece. You can be mad about it, but you can't just walk away from the friendship. Mm-hmm. That's where the commitment piece, I think, where we differ with your generation, Jaleesa, where you said like we deuces, we out. The commitment is being willing to fight through the tough times. When you disagree, when you mad, have your moment, whether it's a day, a week, or whatever. But like Jamie said, it's not gonna go much longer than that. One of us gonna say, "Hey, put on your big girl, go and deal with it, fight it out." And when y'all come out, we going to dinner. You got to get over it, and take respect. I think that we all have a mutual respect for one another. No, we don't always agree, but we respect each other's opinion. And if we cross the line where we aren't respecting somebody else's opinion, somebody in a group will pull us back in line and correct us. And we're open to that correction. You got to be open to accountability and stuff. So I think that's what makes it work.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and I agree with Robin, like I said before, everything that she said, but she didn't give us a week. I had an instance where I was she pulled me up that day, said, "No, you're not being yourself. Change it. Let's go on." I'm like, okay. But like I said, I think because like I said, it helps that we're all Christians and we know that, you know, the Bible says that if you have something against your brother or your sister, that you go to them.
Right.
Yeah, we may not go to them that day or whatever, but we're eventually going to wind up talking to that sister, you know, telling, you know, your perspective on the situation, allow them to say their perspective. And then, you know, you agree and says, okay, let's move on, you know, and sometimes it may come to a point where you agree to disagree,
Right.
but you've had that conversation and you know where each person stands.
Right.
So, you know, that's what's worked for me.
Right.
Joe and Tina.
I guess I'll go. I agree with everything that's been said. In addition to that, we're in it for the long haul. I mean, we've been through a lot, but we didn't know that. So when we first met, I guess sometimes you almost are at a point where you're showing your true feelings. I'm going to reference when I first met Jamie, I was just bawling. And she offered her shoulder to me, and I took advantage of it. I had to let it go. So, and it was something. So she didn't have no clue what it was. So what I'm saying is that in every season, every emotion, everything that's going on, you need that golden friendship. I'm going to call it golden, because if you don't have that, you and you set an expectation. You know what I mean? Like we expect to see each other when we're going through. We expect to see each other in tough times and rough times. We expect to say, hey, we got rally the troops, something's going on, or whatever. Or, you know, so we have that comfort level among us that, I mean, you want to call it sisterhood, but we're like joined some kindred spirits. We're joined that close. And we may not talk every day. I mean, I'm sure that.
We're not sisters by birth, but sisters by the heart.
That's it.
Have my shirt.
Yeah. A text away, a phone call away, email away, anything. Yeah. And if we have to do drive-bys, we've done that too.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like we're in it for the long haul.
I agree. I totally agree with everything everybody has said. And one thing we all have is a genuine love and respect for each other. And we value each other's opinions. And like I think Robin or Mary might have said, we do agree to disagree at times, but for the most part, we agree on things, you know, and we give sound advice, sage advice, and we heed to instructions from each other. So I'm just grateful that we have this sisterhood in.
Well, I've got to give
added for such a long time. And I see. Oh, I'm breaking up.
You were, but you're fine.
You're good.
You're good now.
I'm sorry.
We heard.
Okay.
I got to give recognition to one of the reasons why we are as close as we are. Gilliam. She's the mother of the group. And her and Pop have a great deal to do with us being as loyal and as close as we are, because one, she set an example, and she also set our goals to what we should be together, working in God's image. So I think Ruby has a whole lot to do with us being together, and Pop's got he's the one that comes in and sues everything over when things are wrong. So I think that had a lot to do with it, because Robin and I met doing some crazy stuff for the little girls at church.
Teaching an etiquette workshop. And we ain't know, I ain't know what color slip to wear and what the fork went, where the knife went, how to set. And she asked me to teach and actually Jamie and I sat every Sunday at Winners Lane. We sat within a row of each other. She was either in front of me or in back of me, her and Jalika. And all we would do was speak. Right. And it wasn't until Pastor Gilliam pulled both of us off the pews and put us to work in ministry on a project together that we became best friends. You know, and the same thing kind of happened with everybody else. Like Mary, I met Mary through the children's ministry. She was facilitators. I was overseeing children's ministry, you know, and so she pulled us off the pews, you know, all of us were in publications because of her.
Yeah.
So I met
Night.
patients and late nights at the church doing the church calendar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Many a night sitting on the floor putting that thing together.
On the floor in that little room next to what now is the bathroom.
Bathroom. Right.
The copy all hours of the night. So we all met through ministry as a result of Pastor Gilliam pulling us off the pews.
Yes, indeed.
Amen. Amen. Do you all think that there's a difference between friendship and sisterhood?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Because the bond for sisterhood is definitely stronger. Like I said, friendships, they come and go, but because you're tied, and we're tied not by I guess physical blood, but by the blood of Jesus.
Right.
And so that's sisterhood brings us together and keeps us together.
Anyone else have an answer on that one?
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit, but I think I would agree because I mean, even with my friendships, I'm very, very protective of who's in my space. So, you know, I don't call everybody friend, you know, and so that's why it's a struggle for me to say there's a difference because you got jumped through some hoops already. I mean, there's a screening process. You don't know you being screened, but you know, because I'm a, you know, once you in, and I'll do anything in the world for you. So it's an exclusive relationship for me. Yeah. And so it's not a whole lot of difference, you know, but I can count on, well, you know, it's 4 of y'all. So I can count on one hand plus one how many true friends and sisterhood folks are in that sphere. And other people are just acquaintances for me. I don't have a lot of persons that I really call friend.
Anyone else?
Well, Tina, remember when the last what is it, council we had?
Inquisition.
Oh Jesus, I wasn't gonna bring up the Inquisition.
I'm trying to think who was the center.
We don't have to say who it was.
No, they might be watching.
Yeah, we don't have to say who it was.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't say it,
I mean, I say it for y'all to be candy. You're about to get me canceled. But yes, y'all can definitely share on the Inquisition process because it is murder. It's bad.
Well, I mean, it just depends. You know, you get anytime you want to introduce a new member of the sister circle, they have to go through the Inquisition process.
Yes.
Everybody in the group needs to be comfortable with, you know, because again, when we come together, we sharing, you know, personal details. We work with one another. We can't have anybody in our space that's gonna go running their mouth, you know, even to their spouse or to, you know, whoever their boo is, and you know, you got to be able to keep your mouth closed. So, I mean, I even go back, and I don't even know if Mary knows this. I remember when I first met Mary, and then we were having a women's retreat, and she was new to the church, so she didn't really have anybody to room with and stuff. And I was like, well, you can come, you can room. You know, I invited her to come, you know, be part of this group. I had to go and sell that because I had already committed. You know, the rest of the circle was like, who? Okay. What's going on with this? So I was like, listen, now y'all know me. Y'all know I'm the hardest with the screening process. So if I'm good with her, you know, I think y'all will be able to give it a shot, give it a chance, you know. So even amongst us, we went through some kind of process to get
back. That's true.
That's right.
So, but yeah, you got to be able to live up to the 4 things that I talked about. You know, the trust, the communication piece, the commitment, and respect. If you just want to be in the hear what's going on, you don't need to be part of this group.
I think that's one of the things that I think for me and Brittany kind of didn't do properly, the whole screening process, because we have separate groups of friends, and we didn't realize that all of those groups aren't going to mix, and it's okay. So what, I guess the question is, what's the qualification? Now we're not accepting applications. That's not what I'm saying. But as far as just looking at that, is it those 4 things?
Well, it's for me. So for me, it's those 4 things, but it's also having pure motives. Like why do you want to be part of this sister circle? We've even done the Inquisition for So Jaleesa, I'll use you as an example. It wasn't you, it was somebody else.
Okay.
You had a boyfriend. And so we put the boyfriend on the hot seat. We like, okay, you know, why are you interested in my niece? You know, and we even put you, we put the person on, you get on the hot seat too. So why do you like this guy? You know? And they were like, well, you know, he makes me feel good and he lifts me up. I'm like, well, a good bra can lift you up and make you. That's not a good answer.
18-hour.
Yeah, you know, so pure motives. Like, what's your real motive? You know, what's your real motive and who are you? Like, who are you? We need some detail to know that you're going to be good to, you know, that person's going to be good to you. You know, they in it for the long haul, like, you know, so that's some of the stuff I look for.
And we've had inquisitions where we have rejected people or rejected their choice in a spouse.
Y'all just cold.
But you know, in the long run,
we're on it.
At the end, we were right.
But we've also just done, it's almost like when you join a fraternity and sorority, you go through the whole hazing thing. So we even had someone who wanted to be part of the group, you know, and we had a cookout at Mom's, and you know, and so actually this one wasn't a cookout because we were actually
we were in the house.
We were in the house because we were using China. We can only use China when it's not a cookout. We only use plastic paper when it's a cookout. So I know it wasn't a cookout. Part of the inquisition was
dinner
to do all the dishes.
The dishes, yes,
all the dishes, and you know, and so everybody wanted to help. We're like, no, baby, sit on down. It's her turn to kind of.
That poor child doing all kinds of things.
The most assistance you can offer is to pass her the plates. Here's the next bag. Here's the next bag. And this was hand washing. This wasn't putting it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
There's a process to it, and as well, you know, you assess their integrity and their, you know, but also, can you handle being part of this group?
Serve. The other thing is that can you be yourself? You know,
that part.
It's too much to try to keep track of somebody else when you come into this circle and that circle and that circle and that circle.
Right.
True. Like, can you be yourself around the, you know, the group of women more so, and make sure that, you know, how you're projecting or how you're coming across is being accepted or received or not. You know what I mean? So that's how you know you're going to fit in. And the other thing is, if you have to be somebody else when you come in my circle or when you come, you know, anywhere, that's not a connection, I'm going to say. You know what I mean? You have to be yourself.
Yeah. Because what you see is what you get. You know, us, this is what we get 24/7. I know we have our serious side when it comes time to be serious, but this is us.
We know what to expect.
Exactly.
You have to figure out what version you're gonna be when you come today.
And we've gone through a lot. I mean, we've gone through burials. We've gone through, you know, losing people. We've gone through, you know, people coming in and people going out. So we've gone through mourning friendships even. So if somebody was in our circle and they're no longer there, we mourn that. And we've gone through it a lot. And for us to talk to each other about things how we really feel about what happened, I'm not sharing that with everybody. This is who I'm sharing it with. Because I know that this is where it's going to stay.
Right. And Jaleesa, you said something, Jaleesa, that I think is critical. Because you talked about having other circle of friends and they don't all match, and that's okay. And it is, but that's one of the things about this group. We respect the fact that we each have other friends that may not be part of this circle. And we understand that it doesn't take anything away from this sisterhood. Me having another friend doesn't take anything away from this group. And I know one time within my own family, my biological family, some persons were struggling with that. They felt like because I was so close with this group of women that it took something away from them, and it doesn't. I mean, you can have those, and because we respect that, it works. And you know, we aren't sitting around jealous, you know, because Mary's out with her other group, you know, her other group of friends and stuff. we're okay with that. We understand. So
that was actually one of the questions that were asked. How do you have time for multiple friends without anyone feeling left out? And I think based on what you all have said, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's just a matter of security in the friendship. Like, you guys know who you are, you guys know what you have. And so the whole idea of being left out or not being a part, really, I've never really seen that play out with you guys. And I've seen Aunt Robin go to the baseball game with a group of friends. I've seen Aunt Tina go out. You know, I've seen Aunt Mary. I've seen Aunt Joanne, my mom. And it doesn't take away from the fact that you guys can still come and sit at the round table. Because the round table was the round table before Jada Pinkett said,
right.
We're a table talk. Let's be clear.
right.
But you can still come
We
back.
had a round table.
Oh, yeah. But you can still come back to the table and not feel left out. And I guess the question is, did any of you ever wrestle with that, or was it a left out thing, or were you just secure in your friendship?
Yeah.
I don't think that ever really crossed any of our minds, because I don't think that's ever crossed. I mean, even within the group, Joanne and I, Thumb and Louise, can go off.
Thelma Louise and your chauffeur.
Yeah,
Thank you, baby girl. Thank you.
Baby girl.
we got to take us. But
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't bother Robin or Mary or Tina that Thelma and Louise were out having fun.
At the craft place.
Example,
At the craft place.
Didn't it
Where
bother?
we have no desire to be. We have different interests. So.
just like the quilt we made for Bishop.
Beautiful. Mhm.
Yes.
That was Thelma and Louise learning something, figuring it out, and then when we finally gave it to them, we went to Robin, and people kept saying, "Well, how you get to be up and give a gift to the bishop?" And we tried that, and we couldn't do it. Hello, who's our best friend? Who's Bishop's assistant?
You pulls that card a lot, though.
Yeah, I did.
Keanu,
Yeah, I fired a lot.
Yeah, Keith and the other chauffeur. Yeah, Keith, thank you, sis. By the time Marissa and Kendra started driving, they was on their own. And,
Yeah.
but Lord, have mercy.
I've ever ridden with Marissa or Kendra.
Oh, wow.
Gosh, y'all gotta fix that. Fix that.
I haven't rode with Jaleesa yet. Did I?
Oh, you
No, you haven't, Auntie. I'm an
I think
excellent
I have.
driver. On Robin taught me how to drive. So if you've driven with on Robin, you've rode
And
with me.
you'll be there real fast.
No.
Fast and Furious.
Y'all not gonna do me.
You
like
will
that.
be there quickly. Now, if you're riding with Joanne, you're not going to get there anytime soon.
Yes, you will. We just leave earlier and we take our time. We get there. We get there.
You're right, Joe, with all the back roads.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. Another question that was asked is what is considered a non-repairable thing or situation in your friendship and sisterhood? Not necessarily with you ladies, because obviously you all are still friends. But what's like a deal breaker for you in friendships?
Breaking that trust.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you break the trust,
Oh yeah, that would be.
that just
That's it.
blows everything. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be close. I don't know if that would be a complete deal breaker. Because, like I said, because if you come back and say, I was wrong, and ask for forgiveness, then you probably can get back in. Especially if it's one of us who have been through, everything with each other. So, but that would be a close one.
But it still probably wouldn't even mesh it wouldn't blend the same.
Because you're wondering whether
Right,
you
yeah.
it takes a long time to rebuild trust. So
Yeah.
so that would be the hardest thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be the hardest thing. And then depending upon what it was in terms of the trust issue, was it a confidentiality matter?
Right.
Depending upon what it was. Because I think we have such a level of trust, like no third party can like break this thing up, you know. So an outsider can't come to me and say, you know, Joanne said this about you, and Joanne said, I won't even entertain it because I know Joanne.
Right.
I know my sister circle, so I'm not even gonna entertain. I was like, no, you must be mistaken. You don't know. You obviously don't know. You must have the wrong person that you think is Joanne. So outside influences can't come between us. So it would have to be something really serious that one of us does. Yeah.
And I think we're God centered. So even if there was
you know the Lord and the pardon of your sins. Man, look at God.
I think we would pray first. Or Joanne was praying first. Oh, Joanne's gone. Okay, you back?
I'm back.
But Robin said something that I think my generation struggles with, the he said, she said. The fact that you know your friends enough to know their character and what if somebody comes to you and says, oh, Joanne said something, whatever. In my generation in particular, it's for the most part, we take it and run with it. So it's like, even where you are saying, oh, I know that's not Joanne, it ain't even no issue. I, in a sense, would be like, so I heard you was running your lips and smacking your gums together, and I'm trying to, and it's more of a defensiveness than really knowing the people that are around you. I mean, I think with time and with internalizing a lot of the lessons that you guys have taught me now, I have friends where I'm like, oh, I know they ain't say that. But, you know, originally it was like when somebody says your friend said something, a lot of friendships in my generation breaks up off of he said, she said. And go ahead.
Go ahead.
And because the point is that you really have to know the people that you're close to. And it's just some things that aren't in their character.
Now you said something about like your generation, like you would just take it and run with, like, I heard you was running your lips. So even if you have whether you're wondering whether or not Joanne really said something, it's about presentation and how you approach her. So I wouldn't approach her accusing her of saying it. I would approach her saying, hey, such and such came to me and said that you said such and such. You know, it's how you can have the conversation so that she can tell you, no, that's not what happened, or that's not, they took it out of context, or whatever it was. But I wouldn't go accusing her. And, you know, so it's all about presentation, how you approach stuff as well.
And I guess that goes back to the respect piece. I got to respect you enough to come to you with respect. Because coming off like, you know, Bad Girls Club or like, you know, Love and Hip Hop.
We come back at you the same way. You know, you're going to get back what you're putting out.
Exactly.
And then you're not going to resolve anything because nobody's really listening to each other.
That's right.
True.
We have time. We have time invested into this. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yes. Right.
And so when you talk about friendships take a long time to kind of build. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be tested, and it's going to be, you know, you're going to have to see whether you can weather these kind of things that he say, she say, and the gossip and all that. But I'm just saying that what we have here just didn't, you know, it took time to get to this point where we are now. So with your generation, I don't know I know we call it the microwave generation, everything's, but you can't make a fast, long-term friendship. I know that sounds crazy.
It makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right. It takes time to establish those kind of relationships. Mm-hmm.
Agreed. So we have 2 more questions, and then I'm going to let you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. One question is, how do you set new boundaries in an old friendship? For you all being in sisterhood for as long as you have, everybody grows. Who you guys were 10 years ago is nowhere near who you are now. And who you'll be 10 years from now is nowhere near who you are today. And so how do you set new boundaries in a friendship that's 25 plus years old?
So for me, I think it's communication. I think it still goes back to one of those 4 pillars that I started out with. early on, before I was really saved and, all of that, I might have been in church, but I might have cursed like a sailor, but as I grew, that became, I can't do that. I don't need that in my space and that kind of stuff. And so you just communicate, hey, I can't control what other people do,
Right.
but when I'm in the space, please try to like roll it back a little bit. And it's the same way you set boundaries in any relationship. I do the same in my family. My family knows that, okay, I don't drink, I don't cuss, whatever. They don't, that doesn't stop them from cursing. But if I'm around, they're like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. So there's a level of respect there because I've set the boundary that, hey, that's not me. Now if I'm at your house, I can't control. But when you come to my house, they know what the expectation is on my part because I've communicated that. So I think it's based on community. And so it's no different even in this circle, just communicating, if there's something that we used to do that doesn't work anymore, we need to talk about it.
Right.
Mom Dukes? I don't think there's anything that, I know we've grown, but I think we've grown more together than we've grown apart. You're talking about people that grow apart and what the new things that you bring in. We've grown together. We've taught discipleship together. We've gone on retreats together. We laughed together.
Let me just say that retreats, sisters don't always have your back. They leave you laying on the floor and go eating stuff. I'm just saying.
Fell out and they went and got their
when your mama tells her,
they covered me up and left me.
Again, we were hungry.
Mama said, leave her alone.
And they went over there and got them some shit.
We covered up, stepped over her, and went got me
on the floor.
and didn't even give me no food.
Oh no. They did, all Robin.
Oh, that was so funny.
I remember that part.
In the ambiance of God. So while she was basking, we was eating.
They did. The whole room was empty.
Murray told us to go.
Right, the boss of us said, let's go eat.
The boss said, let's eat.
Because the mama said, leave her there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, they left me out for I said, Lord Jesus.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, all right. In their defense, they had ate and came back, and you were still in the same. You hadn't moved at all. So it wasn't
a lot of listening to do.
You were safe. You was as flat as you could be.
I didn't have anything to move. I needed them to help get me up.
Your eyes wasn't even open. That's okay, but y'all got through it. See, y'all got through it. You got hungry. You was the first one at breakfast the next day. It was cool.
But we got through it. But they know I don't want to hear "We Fall Down." I don't want to hear that song. Don't play that song for me, okay?
That's my song.
You might get a little
that's my song.
You get a little side eye for me when you start playing that song around me. So that's one of my boundary things. Don't play that song. Don't have it on your playlist when I'm there.
But she's missing. She's not mentioning what happened later that evening. We did go to a late night walk on the beach and help process what was going on. And so we did come back together and reestablish that bonding. But we did go for a late night walk on the beach that night.
After you left on the floor.
It was nice. It was real nice. So
God had to do his thing with me first.
Right.
So yeah.
And then I guess we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but I guess the question was asked, so I'll ask it. Did you ever feel like you were growing apart as friends? And if so, how did you adjust to that? Or what did you do?
I think the only time I've ever felt like I was pulling out or I was not apart is when I started getting sick. And I couldn't go and do the things that we used to do together. But it took me a minute to lay back and think they can have the fun and then come tell me about it so I can laugh at them. Because they done some stuff that I probably would not have done if I was with them. Mm-hmm. But them being able to move around, and I can't move around the way I used to, it upset me for about 10, 15 minutes. Then Robin smacked me in the head and I'm good.
So I think I'll use the same example that you just used when you had started getting sick. I think some of us felt some distance there, but the reason was because you weren't sharing what was going on. And so the group just kind of felt like, well, why is Jamie like kind of dissing us? Like, how come she's not hanging out? How come she's not doing this? Like when we try to say we were going to come over there, she's like, no. But it's because you weren't being open with what you were dealing with at the time. So, we didn't know. So we were responding like anybody was wrong. Like, what's up with that? So I had to go back door and get my information another way. Okay? I always got an ace in the hole. So always. Because we needed the sister circle to be right. I mean, we're out having fun, right, but we're feeling some kind of way because, right, we were missing a piece. Right. Now, once we knew why we were missing the piece, we were fine with that. We understood, right. But we didn't know initially. And so there was some kind of, we had some feelings about that. And, but we don't allow those feelings to linger for too long before we're going to start asking some questions and get some answers. And, and I protect my source. So I assure my source, listen, I'm not scared of your mama. We need to know what's going on. I need you to like open up and talk because this is important for us.
It got me a really good steak from Longhorn. We had said it, how about steak. She smoothed me right on in that, around my birthday. I got a card and everything. And I was just like, my mama driving me crazy. Come get her.
And I went to, and even though Jaleesa was saying to me, she's not ready for this person to know, that person to know, I said to her, I'll take on that responsibility. But I went to my sisters and said, hey, I ain't supposed to be telling y'all this, but I'm telling you anyway, because that's how we roll and we need to be there for her. So here's the deal, And so when stuff happens like that, we need to know, okay, do we need to fix food? Do y'all need to fix food? Y'all need to fix food.
You're not gonna cook what's on Robin.
I'll
make potato salad. I'll go out and buy it, but I'm not staying in no kitchen to cook. Okay. And y'all don't want me to.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But I think that's the only time I really felt like I wasn't a part of the group, and it took me a while. I guess because I felt vulnerable myself, and I had to get myself together before I could even think about sharing it with anybody. And then it was okay because I got to see the pictures, I heard the stories, the Janet Jackson. Yes,
we have a Janet Jackson request, so we will put in Janet Jackson on
He asked about the Janet Jackson thing.
Let me see if I can.
So I did. I got the stuff afterwards, but I think that's the only time I even felt distant from anybody.
And see, in that scenario, by us knowing what you were going through, we can bring the party to you.
Right. Yes, we did.
When you can't come out and go to, we can bring the party to you, and yeah. So, because we kind of know, Jaleesa, you had mentioned something earlier about like not feeling like you're a part of because people are doing other stuff with other people. We kind of know. I mean, we can go, we don't have to see each other every day, every week, or talk every day, but we know when we get to a point where we feel like, hey, we need a sister outing, we will schedule it. Any one of us at any time can say, hey, it's time for a sister outing.
Yes. Yeah.
And once we say that, the boss of us takes over and we get it. She's like, okay, baby, check the calendar, give us the date. Run the date for everybody. Once we secure the date, she's like, okay, here's the options for where we're going, and it happens. But any one of us can call, hey, we need some sister time. It's been a minute.
Agreed. Even during the pandemic.
Yes.
we've had special requests about this Janet Jackson situation, so I don't know who wants to go first. But while y'all telling it, I'm gonna find the picture so that way we can show the Saints.
What about the Janet Jackson?
What about Janet Jackson? What about
About how y'all met Janet Jackson.
We got a hookup. We
Information.
know people. We know people.
Okay, I'm not it.
We know people.
Yeah, but
How did y'all feel when y'all met Janet
My
Jackson?
nephew played the drums for her, so he
Awestruck.
got the hookup for us.
Yeah, it was because
Michael
of Mary's
Reed is my
nephew, Mike.
nephew.
Yes, Mike hooked us up. We weren't expecting it.
Yes.
It was an unexpected pleasure. We loved it.
So I'll tell you how I'll let you judge how we felt when we met her. When we took a picture.
No, don't tell a
When
story.
we took the picture with her.
Don't.
There it is.
That's the story we was going for. I was gonna let somebody know on it.
When we took the picture, well, right before we took the picture with her, she asked us to introduce ourselves. And so we introduced ourselves. When Mary was introducing herself, she said, "Hi, Mary, I'm Janet." "Hi, Mary, I'm Janet." You know, we were like, and then
We all did like, huh?
"Hi, Janet, I'm Mary." You know, so that's how starstruck we were. We didn't even remember who we were. And then Mary and I had to vie for position. Like, okay, I'm gonna be next to Janet, and then Mary, I'm gonna be next to Janet. I'm the baby, so I'm gonna be next to Janet. So yeah, so we jockey for position too.
Yeah, we had a great time. She was so
Excellent
humble.
time.
You know, she was
Yeah.
down to earth. You know,
Mhm.
we had a wonderful time.
Amen, amen, amen. We're gonna close on each of you sharing your favorite memory of all of you together, and then also your prayer or your hope for all of you. I know I probably should have sent it earlier, but that's the whole point of the podcast. I love that face that Aunt Robin and Aunt Joanne just gave me, like, baby girl, why you didn't tell me?
Yeah, because I'm not
Okay, what happened?
stuff.
Yeah, it's fine. So your favorite memory, and while you're turning, your favorite memory, and what is your hope and prayer for you guys as you continue to be sisters? Those are the two things we're closing out with. As your wheels are turning for that, I'll just say that I definitely appreciate each of you. Each of you have definitely added something very, very special and unique to my life. I have a piece of each of you. I'm bossy. I'm bossy. I'm just bossy. I absolutely love Pearls, and I do have a very sweet side, but don't push me. And then I think I definitely get my sensitive side from Aunt Joanne. The older I get, the more I'll just cry at the drop of a hat, and I'll be like, Joanne, what happened? We do every time she about to cry and she don't want to, baby girl. And then of course, I get my strength from Robin. I've seen her, just weather every storm just so gracefully. Like it's just water running down her back. Like it ain't nothing. It's just like, okay, what's next? And then of course my mother, the resilience, the fact that, she always gets back up no matter how many times she's been knocked down. It's like, let's get it, let's rock. And I appreciate the authenticity of this circle. That sometimes when y'all not on the same page, it's okay. We can say we not on the same page and we take a couple minutes. I remember one time in particular that Aunt Robin had came to the house because she was wondering what was going on with Mommy. Mommy wasn't saying nothing. Aunt Robin has a kid. So Aunt Robin came on over to the house like, what's the problem? What's the problem? And me and Brittany was sitting there like, what's going on? And Mommy was crying. Aunt Robin was crying. Aunt Robin left. And then like 5 minutes later, she was sitting there on the phone giggling. I'm like, what are you giggling for? Oh, girl, talking to your Aunt Robin, child. And I was just like, y'all look crazy. Y'all look crazy, but okay. So I definitely do appreciate it. I wish that I had the circle that you all have. I do have friends that's gonna rock and roll with me regardless. They are ride or die. They're actually on the podcast. But as far as all of them meshing together, we've tried that. That doesn't work. It's okay. We still love each other individually, collectively, whatever. But this is something that's rare. You don't see a group of Black women being able to get along for 20 plus years. At some point, somebody gonna cuss somebody out. Somebody gonna have a fallout. It's gonna be words that should have been said that weren't, and it's gonna be tension and all that drama, foolishness. And I've never had to experience that from y'all, probably because I had to leave the room a lot of times. It was like, sure, Kate, talk. Go ahead. And I'm like, but y'all brought me here. Like I didn't want to come. I wanted to go out, but either way. So I definitely thank God for each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. I'm a little crazy, but hey, and I'm grateful to be able to have a front row seat to watching you guys go through highs and lows, taking losses and being there to support without question. So I just appreciate you guys for that. So
Thank
that's
you.
how I feel.
Thank you.
So on a lighter note, your favorite moment and your hope, wish, or prayer for your sisters. You can rock, paper, scissors, or however y'all want to do that.
Well, we started from the big sis down, so let's go from the baby up.
Okay, let's go with the baby.
Here go the boss. Here's the boss. Here she go. I don't agree with her decision, but I'm gonna abide by her decision.
You're gonna do it though. But you're gonna do it though.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I'm just saying I don't agree, but I'm gonna go with it. I don't know. I can't really think of a favorite moment. I mean, I enjoy all the times when we get together. Whether it's going out for dinner, we doing a cook, whatever it is, and even in the down times, not that you enjoy those, but those are always memorable because you remember that your sisters were there at your lowest point in life. And so anybody can be there for you when things are going well. So I guess it would be the times when, when I was going through my divorce, the times when, I was a caregiver and I was struggling and needed the support of my sisters, and they were there. I knew I could count on them. Even if they didn't say anything, I could feel their strength. I could feel their prayers. And it's stuff like that kind of gets you through it. I know I feel like I'm Joanne right now.
Doing this.
I'm going to be a strong one, right?
Come on, get it together.
But that's the myth. The strong one needs support too.
Right.
And they recognize that, they don't always, because we're kind of like, I know I'm a very private person, even amongst the sister circle sometimes, but there are times when, behind the scenes, one of them might call and say, hey, how things going? How you doing? You need anything? And I'll open up, but just getting the call and knowing that they're thinking about me, they're praying for me, they're a phone call away whenever I need something. And so it's the difficult times in life when they've been there for me, because you just feel like you're by yourself, God will never leave you, but that's sometimes so surreal. You need somebody. I mean, Mary's the one in the group. Mary gives the absolute best hug in the world.
She do.
Absolute best. If Mary hugs you, you get a hug. And I'm not a big hugger, but if I don't get my hug when I see Mary, whether it's pandemic or not, I don't give a crap about no pandemic.
Breaking church rules.
Yeah. I mean, we're like, oh, come on outside, because I need my hug. So it's just that support and love that is always there, no matter what. When the chips are down, that you're going to have that. And so my prayer is that we just continue to do that. I mean, I don't know if our relationship can get much stronger than what it is, but if it can, that's my prayer, that we would just continue, to function the way we've been functioning and be there for each other, So.
Is that me next?
You're next.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Jen.
Wow. First, I want to say, Jaleesa, you are awesome.
Thanks, Auntie.
I want to reiterate again, girl, walk into your season. You're doing a great job. Okay. Definitely. You're awesome. So to get us all together, I mean, like I said, we don't want to miss none of these opportunities. I know if anything's on my calendar, now you're going to start. Robin has already started this, but anything. But I know time with the sisters is always a favored time for me, because I know when I've spent time with them, I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel empowered. I'm going to feel like I can go another day's journey, because life is rough. Life is rough. It has a lot of challenges. And so when you can sit there and bounce ideas off your sisters, and they may look perplexed, they may look like why is she saying this? But it's like, it's a safety zone area rather. So when we get together, it's a favored time for me. Not a favorite time, but a favored time, meaning that I'm going to put that on the high priority because I know we are going to pour into each other in that kind of way where sometimes we talk about, some people just want to be heard. You can be a room full of people, just as Robin has said, and still there's loneliness there. And so if you don't have that bond or somebody that you can just say, hey, let's get together or let's talk about this. And we may just laugh the whole time, but that's good. That's good for the soul. And so the other thing is that my prayer is that we continue to keep this bond together, of course. And anytime that anybody will need anything from me, I'm going to say that, I'm there. It doesn't even matter whether it's my last, my first, my in between, whatever. I'm going to, if I don't have it, I'm going to solicit and tell people, hey, this is what my sister needs. Give it to me. Because I know it's hard for any of us to come right out and say what we need, but God is already a step ahead of that. And so he'll know if it's that time for us to come together or something like this platform for us to really kind of come out publicly and say, we love each other so much, and that's just the way I feel. I just feel that. And that's my prayer, that we continue to love each other in whatever season we are. And again, I want to say one thing. When in my lowest moments, my sisters were there. Even before, let's just say this return back to my home, when I opened my door and I saw my sister sitting there, and I was like, that's even your mom. She had a front and center seat, like to say, when you walk back in here after having something dramatic like you just went through, she's sitting front and center in my family room, waiting to kind of console me and lift me up. So, these things are memorable, but you just never know. Some of the smallest things can be so impactful. And so I just love y'all.
Yes.
Y'all trying to make me cry. I ain't doing it today.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the fun side. So
Thank you, Amari.
Our memorable things is being on vacation with everybody. I think Virginia Beach was our first trip that we did. I think it was, and one of my sisters came walking out the bathroom with no clothes on. I was like, what's going on with the
pocketbooks?
Mary said your pocketbook. You gotta come here.
So we had some fun
Now
times.
you came out the bathroom with no clothes on? What in the Captain Crunch?
I
See,
ain't know
that's what I'm talking about.
y'all. I raised her better. I apologize.
We had a nail salon going on with the free hair.
Hair girl, nail girl,
Hair girl.
Oh God.
nail girl. I want my free money back.
Oh God.
Exactly. So again, my prayer is that everybody will continue on in the Lord. Like I said, because we know if they stay in God, then we'll stay together and we'll keep our bond together. So that's what I have.
That was wonderful. I didn't know you was out here with your skippies and everybody out. What would you?
Don't even answer that. Don't even answer
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry.
That's her way of trying to figure out who it was. So she's gonna say
it wasn't you.
So you can say it wasn't me. It was me.
Oh, yo, I see what y'all just did to me. I
Don't
see
even
you.
answer. You can take the now circle.
I see you.
Non-disclosure.
Joe, did you gather yourself? Because I see all that stuff was your hair. You all right?
She looked like she froze again.
Oh, she might be froze.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm getting myself together. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
One of my most memorable moments is, and I love Jamie so much, is when we went to Arizona and it was 118, 25.
I was going to use that one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You can use it too.
Kill me.
And we were walking across the street to the Chinese buffet.
Are
All
y'all
I'm gonna say is the color of Jaleesa's shirt.
Is anybody gonna get the story out?
Right.
And poor Jamie, by the time we crossed the highway, got to the buffet, she was as red as your shirt or her shirt. And I felt so bad because I said, it's only across the street. We can make it.
We were in Arizona. It was 112 in the shade. And there was no shade.
And I
So
was,
we bought her an umbrella. It's like a parasail.
They tried to kill me.
Yes, but y'all trying to kill me.
I was just so grateful that we didn't but definitely been passed out on that highway from all of that heat. But I'm just grateful we made it there. She got hydrated and we made it back to the hotel.
And I'm
And
pumpkin want to know what was wrong.
yeah. And also, you know, when we used to travel together, we always had a time for devotion and reflection.
Mhm.
And I remember those times, and that made us, you know, grow together in Christ, as well as have a connection with each other spiritually. And it just blessed my heart. And like everybody said, we ride or die. When we at our lowest moments, the sisters are there. Because I never forget when my beloved Herb passed. We had 100 feet of snow, and I looked up. All my sisters was there. I was like, "How did they get here?" I'm grateful they were here, but I always wondered in my mind, "How did you all get there?" And I was just, yes,
The
I was
love
just
drew us there.
grateful. Yes, and I was just so grateful for that. And even when we had the fire, I mean, I can go on and on, but this is the last one. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make that.
Joe.
But when we had the fire, our sisters were there. They were the first ones. And Mary and Derek thought nothing of it. They counted it not robbery. They just said, y'all stand with us till you can get yourself together. Bishop Dednam came, and then Bill Jackson. And Bishop said, Herb, take Joanne shopping. He gave us money. You know, it was just the love we had for each other. You know, we there for everyone. You know, we try to be there for everyone, but we also try to be there for ourselves. And I'm just grateful for the love my sisters have for me and the love that God allowed me to have for them. And I just pray that we continue to grow and support one another in whatever we do. And you all encourage me to go back to school. Who would have thought? Retired and back in college. It's all because of the support and love of my sisters.
And the honor club.
Come on here.
Honor
roll.
Honors. What
Honor
do you?
Society.
What's
And-
honor
and-
society?
And getting that license, taking you out
Oh,
driving.
nice.
Oh, yes.
Taking you out driving. Yeah.
A plug for the Sisters Driving
This is
Academy.
driving agency, the SDA. They carried me to get my driving license. Yes, this is driving academy. Sorry, thank you, Tina. Took me out, married Tina and Ava. Ava, where are you? But
Y'all lost her in Phoenix. Y'all lost her in
I know. We still love me, Ava. Still love me. But but you all encouraged me to drive, and now I'm driving. I'm still not doing the Beltway, but
That's okay. You get where you gotta go.
I get where I gotta go.
Oh, man.
And I'm okay with that. Because if I need to go on the Beltway, I know I got 4 other sisters and a baby.
You call me.
Get her.
Wait, you're doing it on
And
here.
my daughter,
Yeah.
and my daughter, and Lyell got his license now, so I know Lyell.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
right.
God, are you
Oh my
serious?
goodness.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm getting old, Jesus.
Well, thank you all. I love you all so much.
And what's your prayer or hope for your sisterhood?
That we continue to grow in love and in grace, the grace that God affords us together, and that we always stay in touch with each other. You know, this pandemic proved to us that it could be a challenge, but we all overcame that challenge by getting together. We had some good times through them.
That was fun.
Sister,
Nice gifts. I like the gifts.
yeah, we did have some good exchanges. We can't talk about that right now.
I think she's frozen
But
again.
we did. But
That's
I just,
a pretty
sisters,
place
and
to
I
be
think,
frozen. That's a pretty-
okay, again,
You good, but when you froze, you had a beautiful smile on, so you fine. You good now.
all right. Well, I'm gonna pass the baton because I keep freezing up. I think it's my Wi-Fi.
Okay, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to drop out now. But it's
Okay.
okay. Thank you, Jaleesa, for the opportunity to be on your
Thanks, Aunt Mary.
podcast.
Yes.
All right, love you all. Talk to you
Love
later.
Love you.
Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah, Jaleesa. Oh, before Jay and Jamie get up, thank you so
thanks.
much for being an awesome vehicle that God used to bring us together. I love you, baby girl. You know that.
Love you too, Jamaican mother.
My Jamaican daughter.
I gotta do my most memorable moment that's gonna be funny.
Yes, let's go with funny.
Okay, we're gonna go with funny. We went away to Delaware, the beach in
Jesus.
Delaware,
Oh, fuck.
and being the
Naive.
people that we are, we did not realize the culture we were walking into.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Go ahead, baby, testify.
we started holding hands and stuff and pretending like we was couples because there was a whole bunch of them holding hands and coupling. So we figured we was coupling too.
So you went to a gay beach?
Yeah, we went to a gay beach.
Okay.
We had
But didn't know that.
we had no idea.
Okay.
We didn't know that's what. I mean, we just thought we were going to the beach, and we didn't know that there were qualifications to the beach that we couldn't fulfill.
I'm gonna need y'all to do y'all research.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably like 15 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know,
It was naivete.
before it was
You
as
know,
widespread, you know. I mean, we're cool with it, but we just didn't know.
I mean, it didn't. It wasn't that it
Exactly.
bothered us. It was just that
You
we
didn't
had
know.
no idea where we were. So I mean, that was funny. I was going to use the one where they tried to kill me in Arizona,
But on Joanne took
but on Joanne
That's
took that one because they tried to kill me.
they
We
did.
think alike. We think alike them.
But that's when I figured out that I had asthma.
Yeah. How about that?
The thing-
Find time to find out. Jesus.
I was a nurse that day.
Yeah, this is Nurse Tina.
That's
Nurse
Nurse
Nurse Tina
nurse
was not
that day.
real credentials, but she's the nurse in the group.
Okay.
And you know what? For the longest time, I thought she really was a nurse.
Yeah, I did too. I mean,
Hey, I was a church nurse forever.
You were,
But I thought you were like an RN.
because every time somebody passed out, you went
was
right
there.
there.
Tina was
No,
there. Yes.
She was there. And
That
I
was funny.
always. I thought. What I want for us is that we continue to laugh.
Yes.
No matter what, we can laugh.
Mm-hmm.
We laugh at each other. We laugh at each other's stupidity. Like when I came out of surgery and I told everybody to go away, and Robin had been there all day.
All day long.
I'm sure she wanted to like snatch the tubes out of me. Because I said, I don't know why you here. Go home. Well, we've laughed about that since then because I don't think she laughed then. But if we can continue to laugh at the stuff that we do.
Deanna thought she was a nurse too. Auntie.
That's what I was laughing at.
Go ahead, Robin.
So I want to add an addendum to my what I want for us, because this has just been something that's been kind of in my spirit and just kind of bothering me over the last probably like 6 months or whatever. Not necessarily with us, but just with relationships in general. I feel like oftentimes persons sit amongst one another, and even people who are very close, and because everybody seems like they have it all together, when you don't, you kind of feel like, well, I don't want to be the one that's a mess when it seems like everybody else has it together. So whether it's in the area of finances or whether it's in the area of just emotionally not being okay, you know, you kind of look and say, well, dang, Joanne traveling and she doing this and she doing that. You know, how come I can't do that? But you don't want to be the one to say you're not okay or you're struggling. But I think if we're real, everybody's struggling.
Yeah.
And if we're just open and honest about it, we can kind of learn from each other, like how you're managing to do what you're doing and how you're managing to do you can help me in one area, I can help you. So I just think just in general with all relationships. So my prayer is that as we continue to grow in our sisterhood, that our vulnerability and openness continues to grow also. And that, you know, we're comfortable sharing and not feeling like, you know, I mean, that, you know, we don't judge and all that stuff, but just being more open and honest about life in general and what we're going through. And I know for me, it's difficult because I am a very private person, but, you know, sometimes you're sitting around suffering in silence and you don't need to, because you have a support system who could say, hey, you ain't got to worry about that. You know, the roof get ready to cave in. I got a guy that can help you. You know, you feeling this kind, you struggling with this. Here's how you can do that. You know, so I think if we're just more open and honest with each other, especially when you know you're in a circle where you can trust people, I think that, you know, more of that would be good.
I agree. I'm not pointing no out. I agree.
Wow, really?
This has been so much fun. See, it wasn't that bad.
Thank you, Shortcake. And it went by pretty quick.
Exactly.
Quick. So thank you, Shortcake. Yeah, I watched some of your other ones, and you do an excellent job facilitating, you know, the process. And like you say, you like to talk. So you're using the fact that you like to talk in a creative way, in a productive way, in a way that's empowering other people. And so, you know, I just want to say I'm very proud of you. You know, we go back without, you know, chats and this is something that you have some stick-to-itiveness with. You know, there's some times when you've hopped on this project and like, is she gonna finish anything? You know, so I'm proud of you because you doing the darn thing. You know, you doing the thing. And so, you know, let me go ahead and use you, honey. Hey,
Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
Thank you, Aunt Robin. I appreciate it. It's important that you find something that you can do naturally. And I think for so long, I tried to do what wasn't natural to me for whatever reason. And this is just, I love it. There are times when I've wanted to quit and people have sent messages. It's like, you know, you changed my perspective. You changed my life. I'm now going to therapy because you suggested it, you know. So I definitely do appreciate the platform. And I think this is one of the only good things that I got out of COVID was the fact that I was just in the house and I was like, I got to do something. Like, I got to do something. I got ADHD. I got to do something. So I definitely appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys trusting me not to, you know, go too far left. Because of course, as I've stated multiple times in my life, I tried to fight on Robin once. I thought I was swinging. I thought I had her. I thought I had her, Jesus. And then when I opened my eyes, she was sitting on top of me with her knees, knocking my arms down. And she was like, are you done? And I was like, I thought we was fighting. And it didn't happen. So yeah, I said all that to say I tried. You know, I tried. In the basement of Mom's house, I tried. It didn't work out.
That's a memorable moment for sure.
Yeah, that's when I knew I couldn't play with you like that. That's when I knew I didn't have it in me. I thought I did because you like small frame. That don't matter. You from the east side, so I should have knew.
Don't let small frame fool you. But just know we always have your back. Whatever we're saying to you and speaking into you. Not because we don't like this person, that we see something different, and whenever we're, you know, pouring into you, it's because we love you and we want the best for you, and we're trying to have you. You know, we've made some of the same mistakes that you were going to make, so we're trying to keep you from making those same mistakes. But sometimes, you know, you got to go through the school of hard knocks for you to really get it, and then
I graduated. I'm out of there. You guys,
we get to say. I tried to tell you. I took and told you. What had happened was, you know.
Yeah.
Growing pains.
Yes.
So I thank you, ladies. If you guys can just stay on, I'll get off alive and let you guys say goodbye to each other because Mommy has been very. You were very good today, honey.
I didn't say one cuss word.
I'm so proud.
Did you see that, Robin? No,
I don't know what to do, Jesus.
I
Okay.
know, Jay. I'm proud. I'm proud, Jay.
You got to put on a podcast daily.
That's funny.
So just to share, the next podcast is going to be Sunday, June the 6th at 1. The month of June is Pride Month. And I was actually watching Pose. I don't know if you guys have seen this on Well, it's on Netflix, but it's actually the third season is live now on FX. But anyway, and it was one of the guys who was gay. He has AIDS and he was dying of AIDS. He ended up getting some type of cancer because of the AIDS or whatever the case may be. And he had to go back to his mother in his hometown and tell his mother, I'm dying or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he just kind of talked about how rejected he was as a human because he chose a different lifestyle or because he chose to love differently or because he just made his own decisions and how the church kind of turned him away from God more so than anything else. And I think that's a conversation that just needs to be had. It doesn't mean we have to agree. It doesn't mean I have to participate. All it means is that these are human beings that deserve the same amount of love as anybody else. We are also diving into the fact of, a lot of times growing up in church, when people would go through certain things and it was visible, they could no longer serve in the capacity that they could serve. So like if you got pregnant and you weren't married or you were a teenager, you had to be sat down. Or if you led worship and you had a little bit of extra sway to what you were doing, like it was inappropriate and all this other type of stuff. And we just have to remove the stigma that these gifted people don't have a place in their Father's house. And so that's just going to be the conversation that we will be having. Two of the people should look familiar on this flyer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Tamika, that you all know have been through a lot. She was actually on here earlier. I don't know if she's still on here, but
she was there. Yes.
Shamika, who is happily married to her beautiful partner. Pastor Jason, who is actually a very good friend of mine, who is happily married to his partner, and Camille, who is happily married to her partner. So we're just going to have a conversation. We're going to have an open dialogue and just kind of hash it out because there are a lot of people who are suffering in silence.
That's right.
And I think I posted the other day something to the effect of, I understand that my purpose is to go through things out loud so that people don't have to suffer silently. And sometimes all you need is to know that somebody else has been through what you've gone through and there is another side to this. And so I'm honoring all of my LGBTQ plus family for the month of June. I even got my hair done, y'all. I got my hair done, got my little rainbow in my hair. So, I put some stunts and shows. I'm ready for all of it. Okay?
I put on stunts.
So Shamara's on here. She said, love and miss you guys.
20. That's a little side thing.
So yeah, that's the conversation that we'll have on I think it's the first or second Sunday in June, not sure, June the 6th. So I hope that you guys can just join that conversation, especially with the two people that we do know that were members of our church. I believe are still, I don't know, but anyway, we'll find out when we do it because I don't know. So yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for those of you who have joined us, for those of you who sent in questions. You definitely help with the conversation. I've learned even more than I knew before from just sitting at their feet for the past 25 years, even though I'm only 22. It's fine. It's fine. We're not doing that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna hit this end broadcast. And and for those of you who do want to share your small businesses, I don't like saying small businesses. I think a business is a business, whether it's big or small. For those of you who do want to share your business, I am starting an opportunity for you to come on for a small fee to just share your business because I believe that I have viewers that you might not have that may need whatever product or service that you have, as well as different churches that are deciding to open now and have either outdoor service, indoor service. Let folks know that they can come back to church, whatever the case may be. So you guys are welcome. The flyer is posted on my Facebook. All right. Love you guys. You guys don't hang up. I'm going to hang up on the other people. Love you guys. Bye-bye.